So you hired someone on a work visa, threw a little party, maybe got a cake that said, "Welcome to the team," and then completely forgot that you are now legally responsible for a mountain of paperwork. Yeah, the cake doesn't count as documentation, unfortunately. Here's the thing most employers don't realize until it's too late. Sponsoring a foreign worker isn't a one-time event. It's more like adopting a very complicated plant that you have to water with forms forever. The government wants to know you're actually doing what you promised, and they will absolutely show up to check. Let's start with the offer letter, because this is where a lot of companies quietly panic. Your offer letter needs to match the visa petition almost word for word. Same job title, same duties, same salary, and if anything drifts even a little, you've got a problem on your hands. The Labor Condition Application, or LCA, is basically your public promise to the Department of Labor that you're paying the worker a fair wage. You are required to post that LCA in the workplace for 10 business days and then keep a copy of it in what's called a public access file for at least 1 year after the job ends. Now, the public access file is its own little monster, and no, it is not optional. It needs to include the LCA, documentation of the wage rate you're paying, a summary of the benefits you're offering, and proof that you notified the workers at the worksite, all of it organized and ready to hand over if an investigator comes knocking. Speaking of wages, you need to keep payroll records that prove you're paying at least the prevailing wage for that role in that location. Because we pay pretty good is not a legal defense, the Department of Labor uses specific wage surveys to define what prevailing actually means, and they don't care about your vibes. If the worker's job changes even a little, like their title shifts, or they move to a different office, or their duties expand, you may need to file an amended petition. Keeping a paper trail of any internal job changes isn't just good HR practice, it's the difference between compliance and a very awkward audit. Here's something that surprises a lot of people. If you fire a worker on an H-1B visa before their authorized stay ends, you are legally required to pay for their flight home. That's called the Return Transportation Obligation. And if you don't document that you offered it, or actually paid for it, you're on the hook financially and legally. Personnel files matter more than most employers think in this context. You want to keep records of performance reviews, promotions, disciplinary actions, and any changes to compensation, because all of that can be cross-referenced against what you promised the government in the original petition. I-9 forms are the other big piece of this puzzle, and somehow, companies still mess them up constantly. Every employee needs one. It has strict deadlines for completion, and you have to re-verify certain workers when their work authorization expires, because expired documents are not a technicality anyone wants to argue about in court. Some visa categories, especially green card sponsorships through the PERM process, require you to keep recruitment records for 5 years. That means job ads, applications received, interview notes, and written reasons why you didn't hire U.S. workers, which sounds tedious until you realize an audit could reach back half a decade. The retention timeline for all of this varies depending on the visa type, but a safe general rule is to keep immigration-related records for at least 5 years, or 1 year after the employment ends, whichever is longer. Some attorneys actually recommend going longer than that, just because government agencies have long memories and short patience. One underrated move is keeping a compliance calendar that tracks petition expiration dates, LCA expiration dates, I-9 re-verification deadlines, and any conditional milestones tied to the sponsorship. It sounds boring, but it is genuinely the kind of thing that saves companies from six-figure fines just because someone forgot a date. If this all sounds like a lot, that's because it is, and it's exactly why immigration lawyers exist, because navigating all of this alone is like doing surgery with a YouTube tutorial and a lot of optimism. The records aren't just paperwork, they're your proof that you kept your word to a real person and to the government that trusted you to do so. Want to know more about how our company can help you stay compliant without losing your mind? Check out our links in the description.